He is none other than the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, 2-0, getting set to welcome in the Dallas Cowboys for week number 3, a monster game. And his monster game has got, as I mentioned, the Seahawks on a winning start to the 2020 season. Good to see you, Russell Wilson. How you doing, Russ?
Rich, man, it's always a pleasure to join you. How you doing, man?
I am doing fine. How is fatherhood twice over? Let's start with that.
It is such a blessing, man. Just we have future Sienna and Wynn, and they're all loving each other. So it's amazing how fast, you have kids. So it's amazing how fast they grow. I mean, every day I come home from practice, I get home around 7 or 7:30 or so, and every time I come home from practice, it feels like he's grown another inch or two.
I bet, and just times 2. I mean, I guess now it's I guess man to man pretty much right now, right?
Exactly.
There's no zone coverage necessary right now. I mean, but I guess it's just
everybody's at work. Sierra's kicking butt, still doing work and still doing everything. I don't know how she does it all. I thought I had busy days. She's doing business. She's also got so much other things going on, and then carrying the baby and doing all this stuff. She's amazing.
Well, that's great. I guess let's get right down to brass tacks of what's going on. Talk about amazing. Your start has been amazing. The conversation of you as the clubhouse leader with much more course to go as the MVP of the NFL. I'm sure you've heard that conversation. What do you think of when you hear that, Russell?
Well, I mean, listen, I think for me, there's a lot more season to go. I think you said it exactly right. And, my expectation is to try to be the best in the world when I step on the field and try to do what I do best and try to facilitate the ball to the right guy at the right time. And we got so many guys catching the ball and doing things so special. And Chris Carson's running the ball well. Carlos Hyde's doing his thing. And it's been a lot of fun doing it with these guys. And it's not about me. It's just about this team and what we're doing and how we're doing it. And, they're allowing me to look halfway decent out there. And it's pretty fun.
Well, I mean, is the offense any different? Because it sure looks it. It sure looks like in past years where it would be difficult for you to get to a manageable third down or difficult for you to grind out. And it seems it's coming easier. That's just the eye test. I'm wondering what it's like.
I just think that we had such a tremendous offseason, Rich. I mean, we really spent so much time on all the intricacies of the game and making sure that I spent, an hour with the rookies, before our meetings. I had these scheduled meetings or whatever. So we spent an hour with them before, an hour after with the rookies and also the vets. And we just spent so much time on ball. And that was really huge for us, despite everything going on the outside, which has been a heavy offseason in itself. And then we came here and in week 1, meaning practice, like day 1, like we were ready. Like we were dialed in. And I think part of that was some of the guys I've played with before, guys like Tyler, Chris Carson, and those kind of guys. But then also we've had great professionals come in, meaning guys like Greg Olson. I spent one-on-one time with him. Guys like Phil Dorsett, one-on-one time with him. Guys like Carlos Hyde, who's played some tremendous football over the past couple of years, and some of the things he's done. And so it was effortless in that sense that I shouldn't say effortless. We spent a lot of time. But what I mean by that is it felt effortless in the sense that, man, we know what we're doing, how we're doing it. And I think Coach Scheide's done a tremendous job calling the plays. We're dialed in as a group. And listen, it's just a start. That's the one thing I know about this game is you want to start strong. You want to start at the highest level. I definitely believe that. And you also want to accelerate through. And we want to be able to accelerate through. And the only way to do that is consistency, to stay hungry, to stay focused, to stay dialed in, to stay engaged with one another in terms of everything that we're doing, everything that we're helping each other on, and just try to be the best in the world. That's the bottom line.
Well, it's interesting, Russell, that you say that the off season was something that was so helpful to actually get on the same page when actual play was coming, because the conversation is that there was no work, there was no ability to get on the same page. Give me an example again of what you were talking about how the fact that things are more fluid because you had that non-field time.
Well, interestingly enough, like there's 2 ways to look at things, Rich, in life at any time, and the realities of our world, what they've been for the past 5-6 months has been very difficult for so many and for all of us really in so many different ways. And when I say that, I guess what I mean by that is that you can either, learn how to adjust or not adjust. And we learned how to adjust very quickly with how we were going to do football. Mm-hmm. Life takes some time, you know what I mean? And sometimes that those things take some time. But when it came to football, like, this is what we want to be. This is who we want to look like. This is what we want to sound like. This is, this is how we want to play. And we want to play championship football. We want to win it all. And so really there was only one option. And one option is to try to figure out the best way to process, to learn, to do everything the right way, to be at the highest level professionally. I think, like I said, we got such great professionals, guys like Dwayne Brown and Greg Olson, and even the young guys, even a guy like DK Metcalf. He's got an all pro mindset. He's got an all pro type ability, and it's been fun. And I think that ultimately, I think more than anything else is that guys came prepared, healthy, ready to play, and that's been a big part of it too as well. And we spent a lot of time on this whole thing, and we love the journey of it all.
Well, in terms of the journey so far, Russell Wilson here on the Rich Eisen Show, we're all talking about the stats from week one, and obviously the ones you put up personally. To me, that was the most impressive week one win. You had to go from Seattle to Atlanta in a pandemic, and you want to talk about not knowing what to expect or what you could possibly routinize out of something that's not ever been attempted before. What was that like for your team to go all the way across the country to start week one? In the middle of all this?
For me, I've done it a lot, and some of these guys like Bobby Wagner and I and KJ, we've done it a lot. Our whole careers, KJ's in his 10th year, which is amazing. And guys like Bobby, we're in our 9th years, and so we've had to go cross country, and I don't mind the long trips. You get to kind of settle in on the plane, and I pull out my playbook and just study and just take tons of notes and watch all the film over and over and over again during that time period too. So it's a little bit relaxing in a way. But this season was a little bit different. This season, game one, even though we had to go on the road and everything else into Atlanta, there was so much going on emotionally for so many people. Obviously, okay, how's this going to work? Our normal routines have completely changed, and for people who like to be consistent like myself, that things have changed in that way. Like, so how do we adjust in that sense? And then two is like, when you get there, you have to spread out. You can't really be near each other and talk ball, and you really do all the things that you're used to doing and the way you do it. I think you can't normally, like on a Saturday, I like to go get some lunch or do something. Just, guys like to go see the city or whatever it may be. And those things that change. But more importantly, I think that, the two things, the two main things is that nobody in the stands. It's a very odd thing, right? So how do we play with that? And I think for me, I was used to it. I played a lot of minor league ball, and I've been to places where you're trying to play professionally. And really, it can't matter who's in the stands or what you've batted before or what the situation is. It's this play, this pitch, this moment, and that's what I've always understood. But I think for a lot of guys, even guys coming from college, this is new. Like guys coming from different schools, and LSU, for example, Damian Lewis, like he's used to a national championship, 100,000 people in the stands, but not there. And the last thing I would say that was different is, and not different, but just the process of it all was really more so, Rich, is what's been going on in America. The pandemic, first of all, as also with everything going on socially in America. And it's been an emotional time for all of us. And with all of that going on, I remember the last time I was on a football field, we were at the Pro Bowl. And I remember being in the locker room praying, before the game and right before the prayer, I was about to pray for the team, the squad, and everything else. And, the Kobe situation happens. And so it's been pretty heavy for all of us. And I know for me, it's been a tough, journey along the way, just emotionally, just thinking about all the things that people have had to go through. And just, we had a baby during a pandemic. So that was interesting in itself, And so, I'm used to my family coming to the games. And so that's been different. But, I think we've accepted the challenge that, hey, we want to be the best in the world. How do we do this? And how do we all, take a deep breath and be like water and adjust to it all.
I know. And then now, obviously that huge Sunday night game, that was really, I'm just talking about sitting at home and watching it, right? I mean, you're used to the 12s going absolutely crazy and it's empty, but I'm still into it big time. And part of it is because I'm watching you and your colleagues in the NFL into it like there are 80,000 fans there. And that game was just dynamite, man. It was just a dynamite game watching you and Cam at the top of your games and these defenses. Obviously the offenses were putting up points, but there were still some hard hits going on and there were still some plays being made. And then, just to talk about the football gods, here you are on 3rd and short against New England. All you need is that 1 yard to wrap the game up. and you put you put it up in the air. Was there at any point in time as you're sitting there like, I can't believe that I'm in this situation one more time? Obviously, the stakes are a little different, but did that come up to you?
Man, listen, man, I've experienced it all. I think that, for me, for me during the past time, every time we play the Patriots, it's always an interesting game, and Rich,
yes. It's unbelievable.
My rookie year, we came back and we beat them at home. It was an amazing matchup. I think we were down by 13 or something like that. Obviously, the Super game was a Super Bowl game. We were up by I don't know however much in that game, 10, 14, something like that. And then they came back late, and that was a tough game. And obviously, that moment, for me, after that game particularly you're referring to, I think that's that game you're talking about.
Yeah.
That situation, I should say. For me, I learned how to move on. And
sure.
I wouldn't be where I am today in terms of the past several years, really, to be honest with you, without having a clear vision of who I am, what I want to be, and how I want to do things, and the professionalism that you want to play with, and how you want to, just work for everything and just keep going, And so for me, that's just been my mindset. I got no fear. For me, I've always learned, the only way to make the shot is to take the shot. The only way to hit the ball is to swing the bat. The only way to throw a touchdown is to throw it, and the only way to do things. And so that's just kind of been who I am, and just kind of our mentality the whole time. I think that was an amazing game, though. I mean, that matchup. First of all, I was excited to see Cam back playing football again. Such an amazing football player. What he's been able to do over the years. We've had some amazing battles, just me and him.
Sure have.
Just going back for the past 9 years. We've gone after it, back and forth. And so, there's 10 black quarterbacks, I think, starting that day, which was amazing in itself too. And just think about when I came in the NFL, what the NFL looked like, and now where it is today. And just things are changing. It takes time, but things are changing. I'm just glad to see a guy like Cam just give him that chance and just do his thing again. I'm glad he didn't score, though.
I know. It really was just remarkable. And now, obviously, here comes a big game against the Dallas Cowboys for you. Mm-hmm. And as you're going through your film study, I'm sure you're seeing X, Y, and Z right now, and the whole country will be getting ready for this. But the way you envision the rest of the season going out, Russell, what would it mean to you to win an MVP award? What would it mean to you? I know you're about Go Hawks. I know you're about the team, but what would it mean to you, do you think, for something?
Well, I think anytime anybody wins an MVP, the first thing that I think about is that means that team's winning, right? That means that team's doing a great job of winning and doing everything you can. I think also, too, that's my number one objective, is to be the greatest winner of all time and try to win as many games as possible, and Super Bowls, too. And so, that's if I'm playing my best, I think we got a really great chance of, doing something special this year. And I think, the rest of the guys too. And so it's a team effort. This game is so special because it's such a team effort. Everybody making their plays. Guys like David Moore making that amazing catch in the corner, and, tiptoeing in the sideline, moonwalking into the pylon. That was just, those are the kind of efforts and team moments that allow players to do special things. And I think, I got to credit my teammates on that. I think more than anything else, though, for me, what it means is just that, all the off-season work, all the training, all the time that you spend, all the focus, all the hours upon hours, all the the flights that, and things that you've done just to, sit down one-on-one with somebody and talk to them about, the game of football, and just spend some quality time with people. I think that's where those moments really, show up. But I think that all that hard work and all the time trying to throw in a bucket when you're a young kid, it all makes a difference. I think more importantly, though, is I want to win this week, and take it on, and just stay focused and do that. I know that's what it takes to be great, is to stay in the moment, stay neutral, not to get too high. I have high expectations, so I already know what those expectations are. So it's nothing new. I just got to stay neutral and stay in the moment.
Well, and everything going on, kids and championship aspirations, your podcast, you're in the podcast world. Danger Talk, right?
I'm trying to get like you, Rich. I'm trying to get like you. Danger Talk is blowing up. It's great. If you guys are listening to Rich, you guys got to subscribe to my podcast. It's called Danger Talk. It's pretty amazing. It's we've had Shaq, first of all, the first episode. So season 1, episode 1 was Shaq talking about, obviously his NBA career, talking about Kobe and his relationship with that, which was very emotional, amazing conversation with him about that. Just talking about football, his love for the game, and when he used to play tight end. Then we had John David Washington in episode 2, talking about his new movie Tenet and just all the amazing things that he's been able to do, his dad's legacy, and how he wanted to create his own identity. He's just such an amazing actor, obviously from the show Ballers too as well. So he's a star-studded guy. And then we just yesterday I just recorded with Randy Moss talking about his rookie season, 17 touchdowns, 23 touchdowns. I believe it was in 2010 with the Patriots, and just how Bill Belichick cussed him out and him and Tom Brady during a 2-minute drill in practice, and just just how Bill and always challenged him to be the best version of him. And so you guys got to listen to it. It's amazing. Rich, you get the chance, you got to listen to Danger Talk. You can subscribe to it on Apple and all that. And I partner up with ESPN too as well. So it's pretty cool.
Well, look, man, it doesn't sound like you're hurting for guests, but if you ever need me to fill in a spot for you, you've been always great to me, Russell. And I'd love to return any favor possible on that.
I'd love to have you on the show, man.
No, seriously, I know you don't have to say that, but I mean, you got Shaq, you got John David Washington. He was on last week. I told him the story about how in 2006, I'm sitting around NFL Network. I get a call saying, hey, you're going to have a special guest if you wouldn't mind taking care of him tonight during the preseason to watch preseason games. He's coming to watch his son play for the St. Louis Rams because he can't get the game at home. I'm like, who is it? He said, it's Denzel Washington. I'm like, what? It was John David trying to make the Rams. He got in the fourth quarter of a preseason game, and I'm like, telling him that story, and just his journey is amazing. His story,
it is.
Amazing.
It really is. And his mom, John David talked about his mom Pauletta too as well, and all the things that she meant to him. So I would love for you to obviously be on the podcast, man. It would be an honor to have you. We have Chris Paul coming on next week, so make sure you guys listen. We got Randy Moss actually just released it, I think, like 50 minutes ago.
Okay.
So you guys can check it out, subscribe, and then we also next week I believe is Chris Paul. So it's gonna be fun. We got a star-studded list, and you're one of those star-studded guys.
I'll take it, Russ. Thank you.
It'll be an honor.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on. Oh, last quick one before I let you go. Please tell me somebody in your team, the Russell Wilson team, is working on a cooking show called Let Russ Cook. This is happening, right? Where you're cooking.
I think somebody's working on a cookbook somewhere. I don't know where it is. I don't know who it is, but somebody on our team is internally working on a cookbook.
Exactly. It's made for it. Let Russ cook. Like, this is what you're doing. So it's got to happen.
Yeah. Well, Rich, it's always an honor, man. Thanks for having me on the show, man. It's always a blast. And I can't wait to go on Danger Talk sometime.
You got it. Danger Talk again with Russell Wilson, and then Danger Russ Wilson will be against the Dallas Cowboys later this week. Danger Russ Wilson is how you can also follow him on social media. Thanks for coming on, Russell.
Thanks, Rich. I'll talk to you soon, bud.
That's it. That's Russell Wilson on the Rich Eisen Show.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.